All right, guys, let me see here. Hopefully my screen is good today. Yes. All right. So it is Thursday, March 25th. Hi, Kyle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy birthday officially to Noah. We are going to start our very last unit today. Here. It is our ecology unit. So we have a pretty simple activity for you today. Nothing too crazy to get us started. Hi, Xavier. So what I want us to do, you guys are going to get your very last digital notebook today as well. That is linked in Google Classroom. And we are going to be doing the engage section, so the very first intro activity. And you guys are going to be looking at interactions in ecosystems to kind of get us started. But before we do that, okay, we've got to talk about the mad props to all of you guys on that test yesterday. You guys had an 87% average. Like, that's dang near an A minus. Like, that's nuts. Okay. So shout outs to, I had 3 who had 100%, but I had 6 additional people who had a 14 out of 15, which is awesome, you guys. So super nice job. You guys are just killing it. That's super helpful to a lot of people's grades. I actually just really, I had some people ask about it. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Hassan. Already to do a test retake on it. I released all of your scores so that you guys could see that. So if you got an email from me and you're wanting to do the retake, use that. If you don't want to do a retake, just delete it. You wouldn't need it. I still also have 8 people who need to take the test. Please go ahead and you guys will have some time to do that. After today, those are going to be, or after about, 20 minutes, those are going to go in as zeros. So please make sure that you are taking those missing tests. You do not want to let those sit in your grade book because that will really, really cause you not to pass my class. And that would suck. So please make sure you guys are doing that. But super proud of you guys. Some of you guys got the highest scores you've gotten all quarter, which was phenomenal. Okay. Today, I'm going to be going through because you guys have a pretty easy activity. It'll give me some time. You're going to see scores pop up for your notebooks as well. So make sure that you guys are getting those entered as same thing for the STEM gizmos. Okay. We have the rest that we have essentially just under a week and a half until we get to spring break. And then we have the 1 week when we get back from spring break. Okay. So if you are looking at your grades right now and you're like, basically you have 2 weeks of school time left for the rest of the quarter before I've got to post grade. So if you are looking at your scores and you're like, I'm not pleased with this, please reach out right away if I don't get to you first so that we can work out a plan and a strategy to get you where you want to be. Okay. But just want to give that big shout out. And again, I had 300% and then I had 6 14 out of 15s, which is awesome. Okay. Questions that you guys had on yesterday's test that you would like to ask about? Really, I would go over any of the ones that you guys like were commonly missed. Oh, because there's another stat I wanted to say. While this is awesome, here's the more stellar part. Out of all 3 of my classes, I only had 3 tests that scored below a C. 3 out of 3 classes. 3. And 0 people failed. So that in itself is like unheard of. So such mad props to all of you guys. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Lenny. Okay, so that's incredible, which kind of goes to why we're seeing the averages so high right there. Okay, so you guys just smashed it. Okay. So couldn't be more proud of you guys. You guys are kicking some serious butt. It seems like, I got a lot of people reaching out this unit specifically about that level of motivation and how that's really kind of their biggest struggle right now is like, how do you stay motivated? But if this doesn't motivate you, man, let me know and I will give you some sort of boost or big virtual hug and pats on the back and like all the things, okay? So I know life is difficult right now and you guys just really want things back to normal, and I do too, but man, for the circumstances, you guys are doing really fantastic. So be proud of yourself. Okay, this is a good thing. Okay. What I want to go through though is the first activity in your new notebook. Okay, so get us started on that. So in Google Classroom, what I want you guys to do is go ahead to that post, and we are going to open up that. I know what's normal. Who knows anymore, Noah? Who knows? I think the absence of normalcy is normal at this point, if that makes sense. Because really, I feel like we're at the point like, what could go wrong? Just throw it at us. Like, let's see what sticks and what doesn't. And I feel like it's like some sort of sick game now, you know. And I feel so sad that this is our new normal. So it's dumb. Okay. But in yeah. So in Google Classroom, I switched everything up. Today, you're going to see the videos reshuffle. I'm going to take all of the natural selection videos. They will be compiled into their own folder. So if you missed anything or you're playing catch up a little bit, you will see all of those there for you guys. And then I moved our final unit up to the top. So if you are accessing all of your assignments through the coursework tab on Google Classroom, you'll see that I moved all of the natural selection stuff down to the very bottom. And we are back up right here. You guys are going to click on that Ecology Digital Notebook. This is going to be due the last day of class. Hi, Jay. Hi, Carla. So go ahead and you guys are going to open up your copy of that notebook. Pretty please. Okay. And let me move mine. It's not right. There we go. Okay, and we have our very final one. And notice all the earthy tones because we are talking about nature. Okay, so remember in our last units, really how this kind of quarter started or the semester started is that we started looking at things from a very microscopic level. So what was taking place at that cell? Even smaller than the cell level, what was happening at the DNA level, the molecular level, okay? Then we kind of took it from there. We said, all right, all living things share this genetic code. That genetic code is responsible for making proteins. Those proteins determine our traits, okay? Those traits then, okay, are passed on from parent to offspring, and we started to get larger in our scale. So not looking at just an individual, we started to branch out and include more individuals, okay? Until we got to things that we started looking at it from a population standpoint. So how does those traits impact a population, a group of the same species? Now we're going to expand it out even further, and we're going to say, okay, well, how do these populations interact with each other? And how do all of these collected traits and how they behave, how do they impact each other to create this whole interaction within what we call our ecosystem? Okay, so we're kind of like zooming way out now to look at how everything is interacting together, okay? If you jump to slide number 3, okay, you'll kind of get a rundown about what our unit's going to be about. Now, for some of you, this was going to be a nice little reminder because you guys should have covered a little bit of this in middle school, which is nice. You've seen some of this before. This is called what we do is spiral your education. Hassan, yes, you will have a test on this the last week of school. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday of the last week. So you'll have that 1 or 2 days left of the semester to do retakes and stuff on it. But we're looking at things like food webs, food chains, producers, consumers, carnivores, herbivores. Then we're going to start adding in concepts like what we call keystone species, trophic cascades, positive and negative feedbacks, community structure, green world hypotheses, bottom up versus top down. So we're going to expand on those. So a lot of us might have this base understanding of what maybe some of these things are, but we're going to use that now and build and layer on top of that. Okay. Knowing that, go ahead, as always, kind of taking a look at some of those vocab terms. If they look familiar to you, you're like, yeah, I know what a herbivore is. I know what a carnivore is. I have an idea what a food web and a food chain are. You're going to grab that little red ball and you're going to slide it along this scale to say where you think you're landing, okay? So if you have a pretty good understanding of the majority of those words, I'd say you're probably right around here. If these are all foreign to you, you might be starting over here, okay? Remember, our goal is to meet you where you're at, all right? Okay. Now, for today's activity, we're going to be focused on two primary questions, and we're going to be watching, or you, I should say, are going to be watching a video today and analyzing one sheet of data, and that is it. So you guys have a very easy day today. Once you're done with that, you do not have any additional work, okay? So we're going to take it as a gift from me to you, that you guys get a little bit of a brain break. You legit just get to watch a movie and answer some questions, okay? So very rarely in distance learning do we get to just watch a video, right? So that's what we're doing today. Now, in this video though, we are focused on two primary questions. The first question is, what determines how many species live in a given place? Okay, so how large can each population grow? Okay, is there a limit, okay, to how big a population can be? All right, and what determines that limit? So in this little intro, we've got experiments by Robert Payne and James Estes in the 60s and 70s, and many others since then started to address these questions. In this introductory activity, we will learn more about their grounding research, but before we begin, let's address these two questions. I want you guys to answer these pre-questions over here. Oh man, and that formatting got a little bit weird. All right, there we go. So question one, before I get you started, because this is basically your pre-assessment. So what do you think before I let you view any of their research and any of their findings? True or false? All members of a food web are equal in abundance and their relative effects on one another. So, meaning if you had a food web, the amount of each organism or each group, okay, would be the same, and they have the same effect on the entire food web. Would you say that is a true statement or a false statement? And provide some of your ideas behind your thinking. Okay, so take a minute and you're going to answer question number one. And then once you're done, you're going to drop in the chat just a true or false. Just what do you think?
False.
Just so you can get a key poll.
I zoned out. What's going on?
Thanks for your honesty, Kristen. You guys are answering question one right now. So stating, do you think this statement, all members of a food web are equal in abundance and in their relative effect on one another? Is that a true statement or a false statement? And why? Why do you believe that? So you're going to put your answer to why in your own notebook.
What you drinking?
Soup. I know.
Soup in a cup?
Usually I have a shake or something in the morning, but I was really cold, so I was like, I'm gonna have soup. And so I have like an emulsion blender, so I can just like.
I mean, oh yeah.
So sometimes it's easier for me to just drink my soup than like sit in.
You should get hot cocoa, hot chocolate.
I love hot chocolate.
So good.
I'm gonna try.
Personally, if I drink too much or just drink any, I get some stomach problems. I'm not sure why, but
How do you make it? With milk or with water?
milk.
Probably lactose intolerant.
But I can drink milk just fine. It's just when I drink milk with chocolate in it. No, it's not just that. It's not just that because I can drink chocolate shakes just fine. So
Weird.
some weird thing with hot chocolate. If I drink too much of it, or if I just drink it, I can, yeah.
Maybe it's all that fake chocolate, powdery chocolate.
Yeah.
Do you use like the powder packs or like actual chocolatey stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right, same thing for question 2. True or false? Every member of a food web is the prey of another member of the food web. True or false?
False.
Every member of a food web is prey to some other member of a food web. And explain your thinking. Carson, but notice I said food web, not food chain.
Web. There's a difference between web and chain.
There is. Okay. Now, these concepts, okay, we had one idea about how different populations were regulated within different ecosystems for a long time. We had one idea of how everything worked, okay? And it wasn't until this guy right here, Robert Payne, threw something into the water and it changed the whole landscape about how we think about ecosystems and how we view how they're controlled and how we see change happen. So you guys are going to watch a video. It's about 20 minutes. I think it's like 19 minutes. And the video is about what we call the green world hypothesis. Okay. So in the video, or while you watch the video, you're going to use the space on slide 4 to take some notes. Do not change your answers, okay, to these questions. You are not right, you are not wrong. Well, you may be right or you may be wrong. But remember, these are just your initial ideas. So do not change these because I want to see like what you guys thought, okay? So just your participation will get you credit for these ones. So you're going to use the space on slide number 4 at the bottom to take some notes about what they go through and talk about in the video, okay? On slide 5, after you watch the video, and I'm actually going to open up a new copy because it's my answer key. Okay. Now on slide 5 of the video, or of the notebook, not the video, okay, there is going to be a couple of questions that you're going to answer after you watch. These also could be answered while you're watching if you prefer to do that. So if you hear the answers to these questions, so number 1, what was the green world hypothesis? 2, describe the experiments and evidence Robert Payne collected to support the green world hypothesis. And 3, based off your answers to question 1 on slide 4, does the green world hypothesis agree or disagree with your initial thinking? And then you want to explain. So you may either pause as you guys are watching to answer these, or you may answer them at the end. But these are your kind of post-video questions. Lastly, what you guys are going to do is open up for on slide 5 for question number 4 and 5. Or I guess number 4 goes along with your post question. But number 5, okay, so 4 and 5, I guess, you are going to open up the post in Google Classroom. So the Engage, you'll see the video, and then you will see this graph. Okay, now this graph looks a little bit nuts. Okay, but what you are looking at is the impact the orcas have on each of these different things. So what's the impact of the orcas on the sea otter population? Okay, so you're going to analyze the data. What is the impact of the orca on the sea urchin population? What is the impact of the orca on the amount of grazing that happens? So feeding, okay? And what is the impact of the orca on the number of kelp, okay? The kelp population. So using that data, you guys are then going to answer, fill in the blanks for questions, question number 5, and then number 4, you should be able to answer from the video as well, okay? Once you have done that, you are done for the day. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about those vocab terms specifically. What is the green world hypothesis? What are keystone species? What's a trophic cascade? So the vocab that they start to pull in the video, we're going to discuss what those things are, and kind of that's going to lead us into our little lab activity that we're going to do, okay? But you just have the one video with some questions to answer and that graph to analyze, okay? I would say it probably should take you no more than that 25, 30 minutes kind of to look at that, okay? Again, your video is going to be linked right here. And then you have your graph right there. You don't need to turn anything in. The only reason why it is set as an assignment is so that I can assign each of you a copy of this, okay? So don't worry about turning anything in. It's not going to count towards anything. You guys just, I can't assign or give each of you a copy of it unless it's set as an assignment. So that's why. So don't worry. But it is due tomorrow, okay? So we will be having a discussion about it. Please make sure that you do it so that you can be involved in that, okay? So again, here are your marching orders. Watch the video. Fill in the notes for slide 4, answer the questions on slide 5, and then use the graph linked in Google Classroom to answer questions 4 and 5. If you still need to take the natural selection unit test, please do that. Please, 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 please. Okay. Other than that, that is what I have for you guys today. Again, I'm super proud of you guys, all of your guys' hard work so far. Enjoy the light day. Please take advantage of it and do your work and then enjoy. Okay. I will be on here the entire class period. So if you have questions you want to go through, I'll be here. Let me know. Other than that, if you want to go into a breakout room and watch the video together, you can do that. Otherwise, you are free to go and watch. Bye. See you guys later.